Hello, I'm Matthew Gavidia. Today in the MGH Life Sciences and Medical World News, the Center for Biosimilars is pleased to welcome Dr. Nancy Globus, Vice President of Regulatory Affairs at the Accreditation Council for Medical Affairs, or ACMA. To build a discussion on industry, how has industry responded to the status quo and existing guidance? What are you hearing from the biosimilar development community?
Again, I think certainly the bigger companies that have a huge stake in this, that have maybe an innovator company with their own biosimilar arm, they're wise to it. I think some of the smaller companies need some guidance and outside expertise to assist with just creating the awareness. And again, it's just all uptake of the biosimilar concept as a whole. And I'm sure you see that with being an information provider of biosimilar information to not only the industry, but the prescribers and patients as well.
Has there been any evidence suggesting that suffixes add to confusion at the pharmacy counter?
So it's really interesting because we have to remember that medication errors are caused by a confluence of a number of issues. And the name is only one of those issues that could cause confusion or error. There are practitioner and practice site related issues. And on the industry side, we're just talking about the non-proprietary name. There's also the brand name that could be exposed to confusion, what the package looks like. So we have to remember that there are a lot of causes of medication errors, as well as the fact that medication error reporting is voluntary. So maybe somebody is confused by something and it's a near miss, and they don't think to report it. So it's very difficult to get hard evidence of the occurrence of errors. It's very much dependent on practitioners to report, as well as if any of those product complaints that go to the industry, if they get coded as a medication error rather than just an adverse event, to have that turn into a signal that's actionable.
And to build on that, is there any evidence that physicians and pharmacists just aren't keeping track of which biosimilars are being used?
That also is an interesting topic, and it depends on the clinical setting. So I think in hospitals, I know when I was a hospital pharmacist, we had therapeutic interchange, which allowed for substitution of one product for another without physician intervention or prescriber intervention. But those decisions are made at a policy level, so of the institution. So somebody has to sign off on it somewhere. It's just that it gives the pharmacist the latitude to dispense per policy. So it's an interesting aspect. And I think also, again, there's many sides of this story where, okay, there's pressure from insurers and payers, which brand is going to get paid for? And then you have patients, oh, well, I just need to get my whatever product and I need to have it covered, so that it's very complex.
Different than the US, Europe doesn't require suffixes at all. How has this worked out for them? Is their system better or worse?
I don't think it's better or worse. It's just different. And the EU went through a similar wobble back and forth about, they had initially proposed a 2-letter biologic qualifier, which they never put into practice. And I think it depends on whose perspective you're looking at it from, because from a patient perspective, if you look at the EU market, there are many more biosimilars on the market. So guess what? Increased patient access. From an industry standpoint, it's easier for them because it's one less thing in the naming scheme that they have to deal with. And then from the safety signal standpoint, that one is hard to tell because you have to look over long periods of time to see whether those adverse events and the things that are being tracked from a pharmacovigilance standpoint, are those reports coming in to the regulators, and are they actionable, and how quickly are they actionable? So I think from that standpoint, it's too early to tell. It very much depends on whose point of view you're looking at it from.
And lastly, do you have any concluding thoughts?
Other than just getting the word out about what the requirements are and the role that a name can play in the occurrence of medication errors, and just that there are resources out there to assist with those issues and in choosing, screening, vetting, submitting, and approving.
To learn more, visit our website at centerforbiosimilars.com. I'm Matthew Gavidia. Thanks for joining us.